So chaos broke out outside a Miami club when Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis got into it big time. We're talking punches thrown, families insulted, and careers on the line. It all started when Gervonta took things way too far, throwing some serious shade at Crawford and his family. And if that wasn't enough, he even clowned Crawford for chasing a fight with Canelo. Alvarez, this beef has been brewing for months, but last night it exploded in the most shocking way. Let's break it down. Let's set. The scene at Will was a typical wild night in Miami, with celebrities and sports stars packing the hottest club in town. Among the VIPs were Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis, both looking to let loose after their recent fights, the two boxing. Stars were in separate sections at first, but as the night went on, their paths inevitably crossed, according to eyewitnesses.
The likelihood of a fight with you and Terence Crawford would be one of the biggest in boxing.
We're not talking about yet about the fight. Me and two gonna know each other, and then we wanna see what happens.
And when do you want to get out next? I know you're here in London tonight. When are you going to be in a camp?
Huh?
When are you going to be in a camp? I know you're
in camp, training camp in March.
Okay, so
at the beginning of the middle of the February or March. Yeah.
Things took a turn when Davis approached Crawford clearly in a confrontational mood. What started as some playful banter quickly escalated when Davis started hurling personal insults at Crawford, targeting not just him, but his family too. The disrespect was on another level, with Davis reportedly mocking Crawford's family in front of everyone, Crawford known for keeping his cool tried to brush it off at first. But when Davis started clapping back about Crawford's pursuit of a fight with Canelo Alvarez, the atmosphere turned toxic. Davis laughed at Crawford, saying, "Canelo doesn't even care about you, man. You're just chasing a fight for a payday." That was the final straw for Crawford. In a split second, Crawford snapped. He lunged at Davis, throwing a punch that caught everyone off guard. Security rushed in to separate the two. But the scene had already descended into chaos. People were screaming, cameras were flashing, and the club was in total disarray. It was a moment that will be remembered for a long time, and not in a good way. If you've been keeping up with the boxing world, you know, this flash didn't come out of nowhere. The tension between Crawford and Davis has been simmering for months, fueled by a series of social media jabs and interviews. It all started when Crawford threw shade at Davis for not being invited to Turki Alalshikh exclusive Ring Awards bash in London, a dig that didn't sit well with Davis. Davis, never one to hold back, responded by accusing Crawford of chasing paychecks instead of greatness, especially with his controversial move to challenge Canelo Alvarez. The insults flew back and forth, each one more cutting than the last. This beef has been headline material for a while.
About Errol has a metal shield and you have a glass shield. Talk about the punch resistance. What do you think it takes to Ceston, man?
Gonna see. Gonna see.
Could he get it in the future?
Too little.
I mean, you came up from 35, right?
He ain't fighting no real guys at 47.
So, okay. What about, everyone's talking about Errol fighting the winner of Canelo and Jermell. Could you ever do that? Is that too much weight, or?
What, 168? I
Yeah.
ain't going up there.
Right.
So we got Canelo winning then, right?
He fighting at 168.
But no one expected it to escalate to physical violence until now. Now let's dive into the whole Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez drama. That Davis used to clown Crawford's decision to move up to 168 lbs and challenge Canelo for his unified super middleweight titles has been met with mixed reactions. On one hand, some see it as a bold move, a chance to cement his legacy.
My good friend, my brother, Terence Crawford, wants to fight Canelo.
Yeah.
Just from your expert opinion, knowing how Canelo fights, what he's like in the ring, I know you haven't been in the ring with Terence, but what do you think of that fight?
I truly believe, that, anything can happen in boxing, you know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that I favor Canelo is that, his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford could match anybody and probably do way better, you know what I'm saying? But, Crawford is a legend, bro.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can't count him out.
By taking on one of the sport's biggest names, on the other hand, critics argue that Crawford is just chasing a payday, with little chance of actually beating Canelo. Davis didn't hold back on this point. He mocked Crawford for thinking Canelo cares about him. Or the fight Canelo's got bigger fish to fry, Davis reports. Edley said, he doesn't even know you exist, and you're out here begging for a fight like it's your retirement plan.
Bud Crawford,
Yeah.
just won his debut at 154. Said if the money's right, we'll fight. Everybody wants that fight. What do you feel about that matchup? People saying the weight, all this stuff. How do you feel about that?
Everybody wants to fight me. Everybody calling me out and everything. And like I say, I have nothing to win with Crawford. 2-3 weights class less than me. But if the money is right, why not? Right? Why not? But look, I'm focused 100% on Berlanga. I know I have a challenge in front. I never overlook any fighter. So I'm focused 100% in this, and then we'll see.
The truth is, the Crawford-Canelo fight has been labeled by many as a circus match orchestrated more for entertainment than sporting value. Boxing pros and pundits argue that Crawford should earn his shot by fighting the top contenders at 168, instead of getting a direct pass to Canelo. Davis's taunts hit a nerve, and that's what pushed Crawford over the edge.
The others say, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he still got that kind of steam. But, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo has, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out, you know what I mean? So,
Get this, fans went wild after the news of the Crawford-Davis sprawl broke. Social media lit up like a Christmas tree with hashtags like Shark Club Chaos, Shark Crawford v Davis, and CH Boxing Drama, trending instantly. Many fans are siding with Crawford, saying Gervonta crossed the line by bringing his family into the beef. Others think it's just classic Tank stirring the pot to stay in the headlines as he nears retirement. And let's be real, Gervonta is not just throwing hands for fun, he's building hype, and it's working.
Back first.
They talking, they talking, they talking, they talking, they talking, they talking, but you know how it's gonna get. You know how it's gonna get. You know how it's gonna get. You know how it's gonna get.
I'm a machine, a real machine.
You know how it's gonna get.
A real one.
And I promise you, you better lead them home. You better lead the females home. On my mother, you better lead the females home and the kids. On my mother.
Yeah,
now watch this.
They gonna
now
be
watch.
There. They gonna be
now
there.
watch. Now watch.
What's different from 10 minutes ago when you said that?
You know how when they told you say how like I posed for Lomachenko, right? Mm-hmm. And like how he said like he was retiring, things like that. I feel as though like we've been in it so long that we are getting tired of it. Like we've been beating our body up so long, but it be like situations like just now, like when he talking that spark the plug again.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Is that all it takes for you? Is that all it takes? Just a little comment?
Nah, but that's what I want though. I don't want you to fight me like you saying you're going out.
It always go like this. It always go like this.
Nah, what I'm saying, you just said you feel like you going out.
They go to sleep.
I don't want you to feel like you going out.
Here's the kicker. Gervonta isn't just stopping with Crawford word on the street. He's in talks for a massive rematch with Ryan Garcia. We're talking a jaw-dropping $150 million deal backed by none other than Turki Alalshikh. The same guy who's been bankrolling some of boxing's biggest spectacles. Turki's involvement isn't just about the money. It's about bringing that big show energy to every fight he touches. He's the mastermind behind these crossover bouts and super fights.
Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if he want to dare to be great, he can be like all the other fighters that moving up 2 weight classes, and, daring to be great.
You would fight him.
Man, tell him to come up there.
He got to come to win 54.
He said I got a glass chin, so tell him to come and touch him.
Wow. Gervonta said you got a glass.
He said I got a glass chin. Tell him to come and touch it.
At 147?
At 147. I'll make 147.
Ooh, see, oh, man.
You're going to have a pre-camp.
Then what the people going to say? Oh, he's beating up on little guys.
And he's got his hands in both Crawford's and Gervonta's. Latest moves, fans are buzzing about how Turki's influence is shaping the sport, making every fight feel like a blockbuster event. Whether it's Crawford chasing Canelo or Tank heating up his rivalries, it's all part of a grander scheme to dominate the headlines and keep fans glued to their screens, and with Gervonta looking to go out with a bang.
And saying that he wants you, things like that. Does that stuff just sound crazy, or just like I'm supposed to be called out?
When you look at all the great fighters, they was getting called out by everybody from different weight classes. So it's nothing, that I'm not surprised about.
But Tank would be something that he said he'll touch your chin and.
Man, everybody say, what they'll do, but Tank is in his weight class for a reason, and I don't see him come up to 147 to face me no time soon.
You can bet we're in for some serious fireworks before he hangs up the gloves. So, what does this mean for Crawford? In Davis moving forward well for Crawford, this incident could have serious consequences. He's got a monumental fight against Canelo lined up. And this kind of offering drama is the last thing he needs. Promoters and sponsors won't be thrilled about their fighter making headlines for street brawls, and it could jeopardize the fight altogether. Davis, on the other hand, has...
For you, though, is that career defining? Is this a legacy fight for you?
Well, when I got shot, for me to change my life the way that I did and stop hanging out with the guys that I hung out with, my career started going up. And yes, this is a legacy fight for me. this is a mega fight. This is a superstar fight. This is all those in one with me and Errol Spence Jr. A lot of people, they writing me off because they say, oh, well, he's too small, or he haven't fought nobody like Errol Spence, or his resume is this, or his resume that. There's a lot of things that a lot of people can say, but on July 29th, all the answers to everybody's questions will be answered.
Been hinting at retirement for a while now, and this incident might push him closer to hanging up his gloves. He's got one more fight lined up against Lamont Roach at the Barclays Center, and talks of a potential blockbuster bout with Kaysen Davis are heating up. But this brawl could cast a shadow over his final moments in the sport.